Hey, it's me, JV, and welcome to this week's Sup Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen. Realized I never really made an editing video. I don't think Let's Play editing is particularly interesting, but I do think it'd be neat to do one of these, show kind of how I edit, a quick look into the process that is behind the scenes of what I do on this YouTube channel. Thought it'd be interesting to maybe 3 people. Yen's gonna help me out down there. Her ear just twitched because she heard her name. And yeah, we're just gonna show kind of how I edit a typical episode. This is not a typical episode though, because I actually am involving the first webcam instance of not a Twitch streamed episode, just a normal episode using a webcam. Wanted to see if people would or would not like it. So let's go ahead and just jump in. I'm very wordy, so we should probably start or else we'll be here all night. So this is an episode that you'll be seeing later on. I do record ahead of time. These days my schedule's crazy. I have to basically stream on Twitch and record for YouTube and balance all of that. It may sound like it wouldn't be that bad. Trust me, I rarely have time to do other stuff. So trust me, it takes a lot. Yeah, anyways, we're going to jump in and show you how it's done. So this will be an episode coming up. And yeah, I just have to record when I can record, basically, which is why I was saying, this is going to be an episode that's going to come out, probably a week from now or so. Sometimes I record stuff that's much closer. Sometimes I record stuff that's even farther in the past or future. Now I'm confusing myself. Anyways, you know what I mean. So let's get into it. So this is already a pre-made template for Sony Vegas 14, Sony Vegas Pro 14, which is you can see up here is the program of choice. So basically, this is a pre-made template that covers everything that I do with Fallout New Vegas. So it's already set up with like 3 audio tracks here, 2 video tracks, and then I can add more or delete them if I need to, right? So what I do is I record the video game and video game audio with OBS. This is so weird and meta because I've got OBS over here recording what I'm doing now, but also another Vegas project recording my audio for this Sup Saturdays video going over editing. So it's kind of tricky, and I've also got other videos rendering too. But anyways, so what I did was I recorded an episode of New Vegas with 2 separate tracks. One with just the audio and video for the game, which was gotten with OBS while I was playing it. And then another one which was recorded directly in Vegas with my audio for my mic. So this is so I can balance the 2 levels. With Twitch, it's all kind of one package with each Twitch video. With what I do, though, I have these 2 different things. So I can balance my mic volume with the game's volume. So then once that's done, I import, I go to File, Import, and I bring in the whatever video it is. And then the audio is already here for the mic. And then I drag in the outro. So I always check if there are any new patrons in the $5 tier, because if all these people up here, which we'll see at the end, like right here, shout out to all these beautiful people right here. If there are any new people that sign on, or if there are any people that, reduce their monthly Patreon, support or whatever, I check and make sure the list is accurate, and then I'll either add people, or if they've reduced their support or have stopped being a patron, I'll remove it, and just make sure that this list is current. And then if it's not, I'll make a new outro video, and then that'll be updated. So at this point in time, that is current. So then, let's see. So then I go in here, and once the video is dragged in, the first thing I do is disable resample. You'll see this all the time. This is so that it doesn't resample the video and kind of mess things up in a way that you don't want them to be messed up. We go to the end here, and we do the same thing for the outro video. Then I go to the audio for the game or whatever I'm playing. I'm already going through this too fast. I need to explain stuff. So yeah, I right-click the audio track, and then I go to Audio Event Effects, and I go to Volume. And I have a bunch of presets for whatever I'm doing. What's the MHU? The heck was that? I'm not even sure what that is. Fallout New Vegas, Enderal, Audio. There was a lot more here, but I try to delete them as I come to them. Sometimes they stick around like Thief. Sometimes I try to delete them, but they don't get deleted. So I already have a template for Fallout New Vegas, which is going to reduce this by 9.897 decibels. So that's going to balance the audio with usually how my videos are. For whatever reason, if things are quieter, I'll go to the outro and reduce this volume, but usually it's fine. Then I'll go down to my audio, take it with the mic. Same thing, go to Audio Event Effects, go to Volume, and do the preset audio. Probably should change that because that's a little confusing, but audio just means my mic audio, which is reducing it by -8 decibels. So a little bit of a different value there. Then, oh, the other reason I want to make this video too, and I'll make that clear right now, is that if you can see anything that I can definitely improve on or something, if you're an editor and you're like, oh man, why are you doing it that way? That's the hard way. Feel free to let me know, because this is just sort of the way I've learned to do things, you know, throughout my time making videos. But I'm sure I do a lot of things in a way that probably could be much more efficient. So anyways, I click this little button here to go to the front of the timeline. I zoom in, and I find this little audio signature. This is how I know where it starts. So I click behind it, and I press S to split it, and then I click this part and press delete to delete that track, because that's going to be unused. Then I click here, and I click in the video track, and I find where I load up the game, and then I do a little video cue to let me know when it starts. So let's see. So right about there is where it starts. You can tell by the, oh crap, my freaking webcam's in the way, of course. Oh man, that's gonna make this challenging now. So usually what I do is I find, well, I guess what we can do, okay, I can actually make this work. So normally this webcam's not here, but you see this little tiny discoloration? That's gonna be where it's like on continue or whatever. Normally what I do is I go 1, 2, 3, exit, and then I click the button, and so I sync that up. So let's see. So you can see like the square or the rectangle goes away for a split second. So then I click down here at the frames, and I'm going frame by frame, and see right there is where it cuts. So we find the frame where I hit enter basically. Then I drag the audio to be, no, see I just moved it by accident. Okay, so we gotta find it again. Okay, right there, and then the next frame it goes away. So then I drag my mic audio track, and I put it usually right around here, and then that should look something like this. 1, 2, 3, exit. And then I usually mime that in real life. 1, 2, 3, exit. 1, 2, 3, exit. See, again, so that looks good, but again, that's probably something that could be done much easier, but it's just my habit. So then I go a little bit before I start talking, and split that, and then split that, delete these two because these are unused now, go back to the start of the track, and I find point like 15 or whatever you want to call this seconds, so right about there. So then I drag both of these over here, and now it should be synced up, and also there's like a little tiny black screen in the front here just so it just doesn't, you know, immediately start. So then it should be all linked up now. Hey, it's me, GV, in the flesh. What's up? So basically I've been hinting at for a while now that I was going to try to do, so there we go. Looks good, right? Let's mute the audio so I don't spoil what's going to be coming. So then, yeah, so it looks good. You guys can't really see the webcam, but the audio should be synced with the video. The audio and the gameplay, the gameplay and the gameplay audio plus the mic audio should all be synced up. You can mute tracks to not see them. Like I can mute the video track and then we don't see it with these M buttons. So that's good. Now what I do is I refer to my notes. I don't want to show you because it'll kind of spoil what we're doing coming up, but I have notes for each and every episode, and basically if I know something's cut or if I don't know, say something I want to edit out or whatever, I usually write it down, and then so I can just refer this to know these specific time points to when I need to, you know, go back and edit those things out. Sometimes I'll just watch a full video and, like, you know, just listen to it if I have the time and edit it, you know, moment to moment. But a lot of the time I just refer to my notes whenever I write down, okay, cut here, or cut this out, or you're going too long here, or you mentioned something you shouldn't hear, that sort of thing. So for this episode, I'm going to look down here. And first of all, I wrote down where the thumbnail is. Now, I'm not going to show you, but because I want it to be a surprise. But yeah, so I write down where I take the thumbnail so I can just immediately find it and then make a thumbnail using this button up here, which saves like a thumbnail to the desktop. And then I look for any cuts. So it looks like we've got only 2 cuts in this episode. One is at 18:24. And what I'll do also is just, like, make sure that some of the louder game stuff like this is mixed in its audio. For me to be on camera or anything, plus I do some Saturdays, of course. But yeah, so that was a loud noise of the doors opening, closing, or whatever, but it sounds like it's fine. So yeah, basically I just go to where I cut in my notes, but also I'll look for any little discrepancies like this.
No one but Omertas are allowed to carry guns into Gomorrah.
Okay, and see, that's a little bit louder, but it's fine. So then we're looking for where the cut is, which is, again, 1824. So it's not till much later. And I'm going to go through this video again and make sure it's good, but for now, let's keep the video moving. So it looks like, since there's a big thing here, it looks like this is probably where I cut, and then I look down at the notes, and sure enough, 1824, that's close enough to 1818. So then we do this. Yeah, let's go ahead and figure this out. And then I mentally think, okay, when am I going to cut? Let's go ahead and figure this out. And then, boom. So then I zoom in here and I split this, and then I do it on the same, for the other side. So I try to get pretty close here. You can make it closer for the second part, if that makes any sense. And then we drag them close together. And then click here and zoom in, and we want to make it as kind of uniform as possible. Again, this side can be shorter than this side. So then we do that, delete them, splitting and deleting, and then drag them up, and then I go into transitions, and I like the default spin. A lot of people switch them up, but I've always liked this default spin. It's kind of my go-to. So grab that transition, drag it in there. Oh, see, I kind of messed up because the spin goes into where I start talking again. So I'm going to press Control Z, 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 and then make it a little bit shorter like that. I mean, it was probably fine to start with, but then drag these together. Now I think it's too long, but it shouldn't matter. All right, drag in the spin. Okay, then I go to project media. I have a sound file that I use for these swooshes, or these spins. So I drag in the swoosh, kind of time it right there, and then it looks like this. Yeah, let's go ahead and figure this out. It's not rendering fully because I'm rendering a video in the background too, and I'm also recording. So normally it would be smooth, and I could see the effect like much better, but looks like that works. So then I refer back down to my notes. Our next cut is at 24:30. So again, just looking to see if there's any like little sound bits that I want to edit out, like maybe coughs or little weird noises or anything like that. Doesn't look like it though, so it looks like we're free to go. Also, any like color correction if something's too bright, I'm keeping an eye out for that sort of stuff too. Any like big exclamations like this.
Are you ready to be all mine?
Again? Yeah, and then it looks like we're good though, so we could just look through. Most things seem pretty clean, but here is definitely where a cut is. Just a second. Cut, right? And so I'm keeping track of that mentally. That probably was a little long, but I think we'll be okay. So click like that. I mean, at this point, I can kind of figure out when I can like cut and then zoom in. Okay, so again, we're adding the spin. Sometimes I'll fade them into each other. Sometimes I'll add different transitional effects depending on, what seems right. But usually it's the 3D blinds or whatever, and then with the swoosh. Just a second. Okay, so there we go. That's what that looks like. And it looks like those are the only cuts that we have. So then I just, again, go through the video, make sure everything looks good. A lot of the lapses here, usually when I'm talking to people, not really saying much. Okay, everything looks good. Keep zooming in. Yep, more talking. And then here we are at the end of it. So then what I do is I get close to the end, and then I play it. Patrons, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. I usually count 4 Mississippi, and that is where I cut. So I cut, delete everything after that. And then I click the game video, I hold control, and I click the game audio, keep holding control, and I click the mic audio. And then I fade out all of these up to right about there usually. I wonder how much of this is making any sense whatsoever. Holding control, by the way, usually selects multiple things on Windows computers. So then I click the end here, and we're looking to go 2 seconds past wherever this is at. So this is the minutes, 40 minutes. This is the seconds, and then this is like the milliseconds or whatever. So 14 plus 2 seconds would be 16:04. So then I'm looking for that frame. So 16:04. That's about 2 seconds past the end of the video. I go back, I grab the outro, I drag it right about there, and let's listen. Bye-bye. 1, 2. Hey, it's me, GV. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. And there it is. So then I'm OCD, so I make sure I click here so that none of this stuff is highlighted. Then I go up here to preview, best full. I don't think that matters. I do it just to, that's sort of like a superstitious thing just to make sure it renders in full, but that doesn't matter. This is only for the preview, but I do it anyways. I click down here and in the empty space, I click to the end of the video to make sure there's no hidden things hiding over here that I didn't edit out. So this is the end of the outro, so that's where I want to be. Then I click the front, And there we are. That's a video. This is a pretty minimally edited one. Sometimes, you know, there's, for instance, the episode before this one, there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cuts, as well as pictures needed to be added for certain things. So that is an example of one that has a lot of edits. This one is pretty straightforward. So then what I do is I go to File, Save As, and you see here I keep track of when I finish recording and import a video. I keep track of what the time should be. So see, I was 40:15. So one thing I didn't mention is, like, if I went to the back here, it should be close. So 40:14. That's like a second off. So that's good. That's how I know I didn't miss any edits, basically. So then I go up here, I save as, I delete all this, and then I put C for, or no, I put D for done. And then I put some sort of description as to what this episode was about, so that when I upload it to YouTube, I'm like, oh, that episode, okay. And then I like type in the information. So for this one specifically, I'm not going to give away what we did, so I'll just say secret he, and then I'll update that after I finish this video. So then what I will do is I'll go to File, Render As, and I've already got everything here, and then I've already got my preset for the render settings. That's a whole nother beast. Render, and then boom, the video's done. Then I go to YouTube, upload it, yada, yada, yada. The other thing I'll do is I'll make a new project. I'll upload in all the raw footage. I'll look at where I left the thumbnails. I'll find those things, and I'll drop in like the number or any other stuff I want to do with manipulating the image, and I'll make the thumbnails. And that is like pretty much a straightforward day of recording. So it's just like, how much do I have in me? Today was a massive recording day. I recorded so much today, including the sub Saturdays. So yeah, it's just whatever I have in me, you know, I'll go for X amount of episodes, and then try to do my best with them. Obviously, if I'm not feeling it, I won't do it, because then they'll come out like crap. And then I'll just, yeah, you see, I'm getting tired. I've recorded like all day today. And then I will upload it to YouTube, put all the info in, yada, yada, yada. So you can see this one's yellow down here. It's about to be done. We'll probably hear a noise where it signifies that it's done, and I can start rendering another video. So that's it. That's everything that goes into a typical episode of what I do. This is obviously not including the recording process and then the uploading to YouTube process and adding all the information and anything else, but that is a large chunk of what I do on a day-to-day basis. How long was this recording? 18 minutes! Holy crap. God, I talk, and then the time's just over. But the time is very high. Anyway, so that's it. Hope you found this interesting. I don't know. It's just something I've never done on a Sub Saturdays before. I thought it might be interesting for some folk to watch. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see other videos like this, other tutorials, or what I do. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. But nevertheless, hope you enjoyed this Sub Saturdays. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you on Monday, most likely, for more of this prime choice content. There's a cough in the back of my... Thanks for watching. See you soon.